Alright everyone, another week, another Odyssey. Let's jump straight into it. Commander in action, bombs away. Alright, so I'm thinking some sort of military-based Odyssey. We've got easy map, easy map, easy map, decently easy map. Ooh, that could be tricky. Okay, so it looks like the last map's probably going to be the hardest. Let's have a look at the rules, shall we? Medium standard, 1 to 80. Hard reversed, 2 times Moab health, but 75% Moab speed, so not too bad, and it's not on a terrible map. Okay, hedge deflation. We start with 20,000, and we have to make it to 60. That's interesting. I don't think we've had a deflation before, and there's no selling. Okay. Moon landing, 2 times Moab health, 75% Moab speed, and I feel like this last map's going to be non-modified. Yep. 1,000 cash, 1 to 60, hard standard. Okay, so that's not that bad. If we're only going to 60 on this map, we've been to 80 on it before, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's see what towers we're actually dealing with, though. Alright. So, as I had expected, ooh, they have restricted certain tower upgrades. I like that, I like that. Oh, wow. They only give you 6 options if you're playing hard mode, and there's only 6 seats, so you can have one of each fairly easily. Right, what heroes do we have? Well, that makes it really easy. At least we know what we're going to be picking. Okay, so it seems to be all the... Interesting. So it says bombs away, and that's like... Yeah, I can understand the middle path for this. It drops bombs. The bomb shooter, no restrictions there, fair enough. The mortar. Middle path is most rapid fire, so I can kind of understand that. I don't know where the wizard comes into it. I guess it's just for camo detection, because they're limiting our monkey farms. And then alchemist, I guess alchemy bombs in a way. So we want at least 2 of those. I don't know how great the middle path is on this, but I know that... Oh, we can only have one anyway. Screw it. Yeah, sure. Can we only have one of those? No, we can have unlimited of those. How many of each can we have? Okay, so the rest is unlimited. It's just the planes that are limited to 1. So, I don't know how great this will be without Wall of Fire, but at the very least we can get Shimmer, which is pretty good. Oh, and we can only have 8 monkeys. That's crazy. That's like the smallest amount we've ever been allowed to actually play a game with. So, do we actually... Yeah, I think we do want a village, just to get those bomb shooter buffs. And considering the bomb shooters are unlimited, as well as the alchemists, we're going to get a lot of them. What are we missing? We haven't picked a mortar. But the mortar middle path is just... what is it? It's just really rapid fire, isn't it? Rapid fire and heavy hitting, but not much else. Like, it gives us a bit more damage with the first 2 upgrades there, but it really doesn't do much. Do we get a mortar? Oh, I don't think so. I think we can rock with this. I think we can manage. It's just very interesting. Okay, let's try this out. I might have to restart a map every now and then, just to rethink my strategy. But I think what they want from me is obviously Striker Jones. That's just plain and simple. Oh, maybe we should have gotten a mortar, because Striker Jones has good synergy with mortars, as well as bomb shooters. So maybe that was the idea. But never mind. Striker Jones is still pretty good on his own. His first ability here will target the biggest balloon on screen that Striker Jones can see, so he won't be targeting camo balloons, and it will launch a missile straight at it. So for example, if a blue comes out right now, it'll target that, but I can show you guys that very soon. Okay, so there's reds, and then blues. Aim straight for them, not at the start, so it's not targeting first, it's just targeting the strongest. And since we only have 1 military monkey, then we can just place that for, what is it, 1/3 of the price and not have to worry too much. So I think the general strategy we want to go for here is, well, at least the strategy that always seems to work out for me when I go for a Striker Jones setup, is to have at least 2 recursive clusters with bigger bombs and the one after that, stronger bombs or something. And then I usually would put a camo village next to them, but since we can't have that, we're going to have to deal with a wizard monkey. And I guess this middle path can also see camos, so we could also set up a monkey ace with never miss targeting, which could also help us out. But yeah, just in general, the thing that deals the most damage to regular balloons would be 2 recursive clusters that can see camo balloons, or at the very least, once the balloons get decamoed. So I think we'll put this guy here, or maybe we should have him earlier, just to make sure the balloons get decamoed in time. We'll put him here, and we'll start working on this now because camo balloons come quite quickly, and we're already prepared for leads. Okay, so I'm liking the idea behind this. They're giving us less options in terms of only allowing us to pick eight actual towers, which is pretty impressive. I'm surprised this is doable with 8 towers. Unless maybe I just should have really picked the mortar. I'm pretty sure this is doable, because I mean, if this guy decamos everything, we've already got the explosive power, and I'm pretty sure explosives can pop purple balloons. It's just energy beams that can't, right? Pretty sure that is the case. Alright. There we go, bunch of blues. But yeah, starting on round 1 is a little bit slow and steady. Like, we'll get there in the end, but it just takes its time, really. But especially on a map like this, where we mostly want to put all of our towers in, like, the middle, rather than the start of the map or the end. So that's also a little bit of an issue, but overall we can still handle it. Also, for the mortars and the bomb shooters, if you are using a mortar or a bomb shooter, do not worry too much about where you place your bomb shooters. Like, you can place them close to make sure you get some of the buffs that Striker Jones offers, but don't worry, because some of the later on buffs will apply to the whole screen, like this. All bomb shooters and mortar monkeys on screen shoot 10% faster, right? So that's on all screen, it's not necessarily within his range. So you can spread out your damage a little bit if you want to, and or need to. But luckily on this map, it does quite a few loops around, so we can afford to have like a pretty weak defense early on, because it'll come back, and then it has to come back again on the way back. So we're alright for now. We just want to get this shimmer out of the way, so that we can be prepared for when the camo balloons start coming through. Alright, they're getting quite far, but that's okay, because we've just got our upgrade that we need. There we go. So Shimmer actually does have a pretty large radius compared to what it looks like the radius is. We should not have you on strong, we need you on close. But yeah, it looks like it'll only hit this tiny little radius that the Wizard Monkey actually has, but it goes quite a bit further, so don't worry too much about that. It's got more range than you think. Alright. So now that we've got camo detection somewhat under control, let's go for these recursive clusters if possible. The only thing I'm actually worried about for this game mode is high rounds, like 78. That's gonna be... I don't know if we'll be able to beat 78, I guess is what I'm saying, but yeah, the only reason I'm thinking that is because the camo detection on the Shimmer isn't always the most reliable thing in the world, especially if you only have one. So just keep that in mind when you're versing rounds with a lot of camo balloons, that it might not be the greatest form of camo detection in the world, or maybe you want to get 2 of them rather than just getting the 1 like I did. I think we might have some issues with that in the future, but luckily we won't have issues on the last map, which will be the most difficult, so I think overall we're doing well. Also, Striker Jones has gotten that upgrade where black balloons are slightly less resistant to explosives, so that's why you might see us being able to pop black balloons. But there you go, you saw the decamo effect triggered when it hit like around here, and that's well beyond the Wizard Monkey's reach. So we do have a little bit of extra breathing room in terms of when he starts to trigger. Okay, yep, explosives do in fact pop purples, that's good. If that didn't happen, I don't know what we would do. But we seem fine for now. We've almost got our first recursive cluster, which is just going to absolutely shred the Moabs. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, we're no modifiers this map. There will be on the next one though. Double HP Moabs, but they go a little bit slower than normal. So that's not the worst thing in the world. But we will have to deal with them at some point. Which is going to be pretty tricky, not going to lie. We're going to have to spam the crap out of Striker Jones's first ability. Essentially, the best part about his ability is that it stuns Moabs. So if they're going slower than normal, we can spam this a lot more. And they really shouldn't get all that far. But obviously on this map, they're just going to be normal Moabs, so we don't care as much. Alright, but we've almost got our first recursive cluster, which you will soon see absolutely cleans up. Like, if round 78 was only regular ceramics and it was no camo ceramic balloons, we would 100% crush it with just 2 recursive clusters. It's insanely good. Alright. Now let's see about getting this monkey village up. Because now that we've got our first recursive cluster up, we can kind of take a break a little bit. Just buff the first one that we've already got. Maybe even put down an alchemist if we can afford it. Alright, now this is where we test how well shimmer works. Okay. That's pretty good. We've decamoed all of them so far. Alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. I want to put our village right about here. I don't think we care for regrow blocker. Like, unless we actually get into trouble, I don't think we necessarily need it. So we're going to go for the 2 at the bottom and 3, maybe 4 at the top. Just to really buff these guys out a bit more. We would 100% go the middle path if we could get to the camo detection. Because that would just make life a lot easier and a lot less RNG based. But as it is, and as it stands, we're using primary monkeys. Well, we're using the cannon, and so it's probably best for us to go the top path anyway. But yeah, just look at that decimation on the recursive clusters part. That's insane. Alright. Now we can probably go for primary training here. All primary monkeys get more range, pierce, and projectile speed, which is pretty damn good. The only thing I'm worried about is the first Moab could potentially be a bit of a pain. So we're going to set up our second bomb shooter very quickly here if we can. But look at all those buffs that we've just given it. That's going to be amazing. Alright. So, once again, we go for another recursive cluster. Upgrades are a bit cheaper this time, except for the tier 4s. Just because of our new monkey village, which is very lovely. Okay, we're getting to round 40, so keep your finger on the number 1 key when you get to round 40, because your Striker Jones ability is going to come in so handy for keeping this guy as far away from the exit as possible. This ability is practically made for Moabs, so there you go. And then it recharges pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure that gets buffed even more. So you want to try and stall it either at the very start, if you've got some long-range defense like the Monkey Ace, or you can stall them the second they get to the actual damage-dealing area, just so that they stay there a little bit longer, experience some things, see the sights, so on and so forth, until you pop them down to nothing. Alright, now that we have 2 recursive clusters and a little bit of camo detection, I'm still a bit cautious of that because it's not the greatest camo detection, but it seems to be working well so far with our placement. Now we can start chilling a little bit. Let's actually buy the next upgrade. Oh, I mean, increased range and reduced ability cooldowns could be pretty good, but I think, considering we've already got most of the upgrades, we'll just go for Never Miss and Spy Plane, and that'll help us out with the camo detection a little bit more. Plus it'll start speeding up the rounds because we can now attack over here. There we go. So I think having this plane on never miss and camo detection is a really good idea for taking out the camo balloons. Also, we'll place our lovely alchemist smack in the middle. Faster throwing, get stronger stimulant. Now that doesn't do anything for camo detection, sadly, but it does buff all of the towers around us, so I'd say that's just about as good as we'll get. There we go. Get the acid pools, just for fun. Alright, there's really not much more we can put down except for another cannon and another alchemist, but realistically at this point in time, we're doing quite well for ourselves. I'm not sure that we need to, but just to be safe, let's put down, where do we want our last cannon? Here? I want him in the range of the village for sure, and if he can get buffed by the alchemist, even better. Now, do we want another recursive cluster? I don't know if we do. I think we want a Moab Mauler, or a Moab Assassin, sorry. Just so that we get another ability, and so that if our recursive clusters can deal with pretty much any regular balloon, then this guy's for the big boys. This guy's for the BFBs and ZOMGs. Alright, but that's pretty much us set up. I can put down another alchemist just to keep up the buffs a bit more. Boom. Good old Moab Assassin. Can't ever go wrong with it. Just testing out the powers. Testing out the magical powers that I hardly ever use. Man, I remember Moab Assassins, well not Moab Assassins, but Moab Maulers used to be like the only way in BTD5 that I knew to take down a Moab. Like, there were plenty of other ways, but that was the most efficient way that I knew of to take down a regular Moab without having to worry too much. Also, Striker Jones' second ability does work incredibly well for both mortars and bomb shooters in this Odyssey, because the middle path of the mortar does have an ability, and this ability resets the cooldown on mortars and bomb shooter abilities. So, for example, we'll wait for a Moab to come out, maybe even two. So use the ability, use this one, and then it instantly cools down so we can use it again. It's for those situations where it might not be the easiest to take down all the Moabs, so you can just use the Moab Assassin, use this ability, use another one, and then if you've got plenty of Moab Assassins, then you're just chilling. You just keep spamming it. And it resets all of them, it doesn't just reset one. So if you've got 20 Moab Assassins, and you use all 20 of them, and then, I don't know, the BAD you're versing still doesn't die, you can just use this and then use all 20 again, which is crazy. Alright, so, I think for 5th tiers, the main 5th tier that we want to be aiming for, believe it or not, it's not the Moab Eliminator, it's not the Bomb Blitz, certainly not Permabrew, certainly not the middle path of this, but it will in fact be primary expertise. And it doesn't even matter that we've gotten it after we've bought all of our towers, because this, if it'll actually stay on screen long enough, screw it, we'll just look at it. Adds Mega Ballista attack plus all primary monkeys in radius get more popping power and tier 1 and 2 upgrades for free. So we don't care about those upgrades for free part, we just care that our bomb shooters will be doing more damage, and this guy starts to attack himself, which is amazing, because I'm pretty sure it can see camo. Now that I think about it, that could have been the answer to one of the custom challenges I did a while ago. Damn it. I just remember there was a custom challenge where the whole idea behind it was, do you know how to pop camo balloons? And they were talking about like all the secret ways of popping camo balloons. I'm pretty sure this is one of them. So we will see, but this is also just insanely good damage. If you can get the primary expertise early on, and by early on I mean like around now, even, is still pretty early on compared to 80, then you're set. You've 100% won this if you can get primary expertise. It is such a good upgrade. But hopefully we can get it soon so that it can show off its power to you guys. But other than that, we've got literally nothing else to get if this doesn't get us through to 80. Then I'm not sure really what to do. But look at that, round 63 with recursive clusters. Just look at it. Right, here it comes, and there it goes. Recursive clusters are such a good upgrade. It is insane. And if you don't know what recursive clusters do, essentially, the upgrade before it meant that the cannon would shoot a bomb, and then that bomb would explode and spread out 8 other bombs away from it in like a sort of circular explosion around it. And essentially what recursive cluster does, it's pretty much in the name. Every single one of those 8 bombs that is sent out by the previous upgrade splits into even more bombs and just makes an obliteration zone, which is crazy. Now, recursive cluster, just one of them on its own, isn't always good enough to take out everything, but if you get 2 of them and you've got Striker Jones nearby, no question about it. Anything these towers can see that isn't a Moab is gonna die. That's just a fact. Alright, we're getting into the late game now, but we've almost afforded the primary expertise, and once you guys see how strong this is, you will always make sure that you get your monkey village in this game mode. Because I think that is the key to beating most of these maps, is unlocking and getting primary expertise as soon as you can. In fact, we probably could have held off on getting the... Oh, that's not even on strong. Whoops. We could have probably held off on getting this guy for a little bit longer and gotten primary expertise a lot earlier. But that does not matter, and you will soon see. Boom. Primary expertise is like a sniper. It does not care about its own range and radius. It just throws these blades, and first of all, it chains to balloons, so if it hits the first one, it'll like zigzag down the path here and pop the rest of them. It can pop camos, it can pop leads, and it can most certainly do a lot of damage to Moabs. I think it, in fact, one-shots regular Moabs, but BFBs it might take a couple hits. But damn, just look at the power on that. It just zigzags through and destroys everything. It's amazing. Honestly, if you don't get this in your games, you're going to be struggling a lot. It's just not... You just have to get it. It'll make the whole thing a lot easier. And by far, it's probably the best tower here right now, because look at that. Just look at how much damage it's already racked up, and it's only been on the field for like, what? A round or so? This guy's been here for at least 20 rounds plus. And he's already at 20,000 pops. This guy's barely just hit 50. But alright, I believe now, I mean, there's really not much left. I think we can pretty much handle ourselves, so I'll see you guys when we finish this map. Alright everyone, round 80. And we do in fact have enough money to buy the Moab Eliminator, so we may as well. Boom. Boom. Sit still. And there we go. Alright, that was actually pretty easy. So let's go on to the next map. But yeah, once you get that village, it's game over for the balloons. 100%. Alright, once again, start off with Striker Jones. He's our main man. Where do we want him though? I feel like we want him probably around here. Oh, but where would the village go? The village would be in a tight spot somewhere. Why don't we put Striker Jones roughly here? Then we can spread out our defenses a little bit. Alright. Oh, and it's on reverse. Can't forget that. It's on reverse. The Moabs have twice as much health, but they are a little bit slower than normal. So we've got that going for us at the very least. So I think I'm going to want to start off with a bomb shooter again, just because it's cheap and it deals decent chunk of damage. We might even go for the recursive cluster first, if we can help it. Or even, maybe the village needs to come down a lot sooner, because it's just going to be a hell of a lot more useful to us if Actually, you know what? We'll save up some money, and let's just see where we can put the village, because it's going to be a tight squeeze wherever it is. So we'll save up and see where we can put the village, and then we're not going to place the village, but we'll just see where it can fit for future reference, and then plan accordingly around that. So, oh, I almost just slapped my phone onto the ground. So, let's see here. Admittedly, we are going to be pushing it a little bit in terms of balloons potentially getting through. Yep, okay, thought as much, but there we go. All good, we saved it. So, I think at the end of this round, we'll turn off auto start just to make sure. So, Striker Jones is pretty... He's not the greatest DPS in the world. He's certainly not an Oban or a Gwendolyn or a Quincy. He can't like hold off on his own for quite some time. But it's alright, because you would have had plenty of money to place something by now. Sneak out that last one. Alright, can we place a village around here somewhere? I think we can. It's just a very precise area. Or is it down here? It's not looking great, is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we can place a village around here. It's very pixel perfect, so you're going to have to try extremely hard to put it down. I don't think it can really fit anywhere else unless you want to move Striker Jones further along. Or there could be a bit of a pathway of... Okay, no, I think it stopped. Alright, so we're going to put the village around here. So we'll click on Striker Jones just to get the range up. And then... So we can put a bomb tower right here and it'll be fine. Plus it's a pretty good space to put one. And we'll start upgrading it. Alright, this is perfect. So, turn auto start back on. We know where we want to put our village now. So we can happily keep it going. Sorry about that. Just making sure everything's all good for dinner tonight. Okay. So, I guess we'll go for the cluster bombs next. And then after that we will have to get either our plane or our wizard. Because we need some camo detection, because that's going to be coming quite soon. Alright, so let's get these cluster bombs first. We don't even need good camo detection just yet, we just need enough to beat the green camo balloon that comes out first. Which honestly isn't all that difficult for just one wizard to handle. And that's probably is it the cheapest? Actually, these might be cheaper upgrades, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, the wizard most certainly helps us out in like the middle game, but we could go for a monkey ace to start us off with. That wouldn't be such a terrible idea. But I think for now, it's really difficult to tell at the moment, because monkey ace can be really good with camo balloons if it gets never miss targeting, but before that, realistically we want our mage. But where do we want to place our wizard? Probably around here, just so there's a lot of room for Striker Jones to have like bomb towers around him, and we're nowhere near the village, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but you know, it could have been better thought out. But I just wanted to make sure that they get decamoed before they actually hit the brunt force of our defense, which will be over here. Because otherwise, if they don't get decamoed in time, which admittedly, there's not a lot of room for them to get decamoed on the first time around, it could be quite tricky for us if we don't have our ballista up in time. But I'm telling you guys right now that if you get this 5th tier ballista, the primary expertise, you're going to be set. You're not going to have to worry about a thing. You'll just have the game wrapped up instantly. Like, I'm pretty sure primary expertise could almost solo this. I know that some rounds might be a little bit more difficult, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure primary expertise would destroy this game mode. Alright. So let's set up our village now, maybe. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Just lost it. Alright, that's fine though. We can get ourselves... You know what? Let's get ourselves our second bomb tower now. we can help it. Ooh, actually, we should probably get a recursive cluster. I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place at the moment, aren't I? I just can't make up my mind on what to get. But no, I think recursive cluster is the best option. Because, I mean, that's the only camo balloon for quite some time, I think. So it'll be okay to just leave it be for now and get ourselves some really solid defense. But I could end up regretting that later if a lot of camo balloons come out all at once. And it could in fact screw us over, so here's hoping it doesn't. Alright, but now we really need to focus on getting camo detection, because I have left that for quite some time. Now don't get me wrong, this wizard's okay, but he's certainly no camo detecting machine. We need shimmer for that. But luckily the next few rounds coming up are focused mainly on lead balloons, so we shouldn't have too much trouble farming these few waves for cash while we save up for shimmer. I'm hoping this works and that we can afford to do it this way. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any camo balloons just yet, which we love to see. I haven't memorized every single wave, I've just memorized when like the first of something comes out, like the first camo balloon or the first lead balloon or things like that. But luckily, no camo balloons this wave. Okay, yeah, we're good, we're good. I'm just glad we can get recursive cluster up before camo balloons start pouring out like no one's business. Okay, so now once we get these heavy bombs, we will be singing with victory. There we go. Okay, so the second lot of camos come on round 33, so that's not too bad. But we seem to be able to decamo them pretty nicely here. Even if they get really far into it, we can still hit them when they're up here, which is very good news for us. Alright, I'm going to try and go for a village next, in hopes that we can start working towards primary expertise as fast as possible. And we might even be able to utilize those first 2 upgrades for free if we get it early rather than later. But yeah, I 100% think that this is the way to go. If we can just find the sweet spot. It's a bit difficult during the round. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we'll get 2 at the bottom, just so that we can place our remaining bomb shooters as well as our monkey ace. I don't actually know where we would put the monkey ace, it's a bit difficult at the moment. But yeah, just so that we can place them for a bit cheaper. Okay, so as you can see there were some pink balloons that managed to fly through fast enough to dodge the camo detection, which is not a great sign for us. So we're gonna have to focus on either getting the primary expertise, or we need to work on our monkey ace soon, because that will also fix our poor camo detection problem, at least for a little while. So let's get this primary training up. Buff our lovely cannon. I mean, he already seems to be doing quite well for himself in terms of buffs, but there's nothing wrong with throwing in a few more. And we'll get the primary mentoring as well. And hopefully we'll be able to destroy the Moab with what we have right now and not have to buy anything else, so that I can actually get this before buying the next bomb shooter. Stun him. Okay. Didn't get him the first time around, but it's alright, there's still more time. We just need to crush him into ceramics before he escapes the recursive cluster. There we go. As you can see, just deleted him. Just deleted the Moab. And don't worry about the next Moab coming, because we've got 9 rounds to set up for that in the future. So let's see, can we sneak this plane in here somewhere? I don't think we can. Maybe in here? No, still no. Up here maybe? That looks like a no from me. Anywhere in the sides here? No. Okay, so we can't sneak him into being with the village, it looks like, so we'll just have to place him around here maybe. It's not the worst thing in the world, because we still get the camo detection from the tower itself. Like, we don't get camo detection from this guy. So it's not the worst thing in the world that he can't be in there, but it just means the upgrades are a bit more expensive, which is kind of annoying. Would have been nicer for it to be a bit cheaper, but that's alright. So, okay. Just making sure. Just checking to see where the buffs end, to know that we've got a bit of time left. Or a bit of space left, I should say. And it looks like we put that monkey ace down just in time. So as you can see, the first few upgrades now say free, thanks to our lovely village here. Or at least the first one upgrade says free. The ones after that do not, until we get primary expertise. But now that we have 2 recursive clusters, I think we can officially aim for the primary expertise right about now, and possibly be able to save up for it in time before anything overwhelms us too badly. Because I know we can beat round 63. Round 60 is a different story. But if that's the case, we can just set up our Moab Mauler like usual, and then maybe not place the alchemists just yet, and then we can still get primary expertise a bit earlier. But as of right now, we are saving up for primary expertise, so I will see you guys when we can afford it. Alright everyone, it's very close to round 60, but we've just afforded primary expertise. Look at this guy. This guy's got no chance now. Just gets absolutely shredded. Doesn't even make it anywhere near. And then all of the mobs just get slaughtered as well. Alright, we're pretty much set for the entire rest of the game now. It's very strange, but it's also very true. So we're just going to throw down our good old friend, the Moab Assassin. We all know and love. He's still quite expensive, but that's just because the 4th tier. The decreasing costs only apply to the 3rd tier and below. But luckily, we've also got the first 2 tiers for free, so realistically we aren't even paying too much money until we hit the 3rd tier, which isn't all that expensive anyway. So here's round 63. If you don't know how good the ballista is, just watch. There's the ceramics. Where's the ceramics? Exactly. Alright, so there we go. Got ourselves a decent bomb shooter up. And there, once again, ceramics just get deleted. And so now we can set up our lovely alchemist. Do we put another one here? I mean, with this, that's the thing though. Oh, can we actually reach all of them with that? That seems like a pretty good spot. Okay, so we'll go with that. I was just thinking that maybe it wasn't worth it to put them close enough to be able to hit the plane and the wizard, just because they're not exactly the strongest out of all of our towers. So it might be ideal just to kind of leave them out of it and make sure that the good towers are actually just consistently buffed. But it's fine. We can buff everybody equally. That's perfectly fine. I just wish the alchemist was a primary monkey so I could get these first 2 upgrades for free. That would be beautiful. Alright, but once we finish maxing out these 2 alchemists, there's really not much more we can actually do. I mean, realistically, this guy's at 5th tier. This guy could be, but it's not necessary. So, honestly, after that, we're just going to jump it to 80, because we know that we'll win like this. Honestly, I completely forgot about the primary expertise. I realistically didn't think it would help too much because we didn't have the camo detection for the middle path, but boy was I wrong. We most certainly love the village. And it's actually getting pops, and you can actually give it targeting priorities like it's a regular tower. So if you're wondering why some people's villages are in like their top category for like best tower with most pops, you know why. Once you get the primary expertise, it becomes a bombshell of a tower. Alright, once we get this acid pool, boom, there we go. You can't go any further, you can't go any further. I'm not gonna get with that. You work on your own. I don't want to get you, and you're just optional. Alright, so I'll see you guys at round 80 because we've got this covered. I've just realized how fast Striker Jones shoots when he's this higher level. Look how crazy that is. Compared to like when he first started shooting at like round 3 versus now, he's just like rapid fire. Alright, but once again, oh, buy the Moab Eliminator, ability, boom, no more ZOMG. This guy will clean up the rest of the BFBs fairly nicely, as well as these recursive clusters. Also, is our best tower... Oh, it doesn't tell us our best tower. Damn. I'm pretty sure our best tower would have been our village there. So, alright, for the later on, if you guys just want to watch this video and then don't care about part 2, which comes out tomorrow, then all you need to know is that your main camo detection will be your wizard, but your main camo popping power will be primary expertise if you can get it. And the strategy will not change for these 3 maps, except maybe on this last one. It'll be good to get primary expertise a lot sooner, just because the map's a little bit awkward to navigate. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been, oh god, what was it called? Commander in Action. Odyssey. Part 2 comes out tomorrow, like I said, and I'll see you guys then. Take care, have a good night.